to be back in the live world of human beings. And then I'm going to let you work so that you can get as much done as possible. So, all right. Okay, so the first thing, which I think is probably one of the most important things, is that it's Christmas in October, and I'm giving you guys 48 hours to turn in anything that you missed. So you can have 3 assignments that you can turn in, up to 3 assignments. If you missed an assignment, or you missed a deadline, or you know that you turned it in late and you got a 0 and you want to be able to turn it in for credit, this is because I'm a nice person. I'm going to let you turn that in. But to take advantage of it, you have to email me to tell me what assignment it is that you're turning in, and you that on the dates and the time. So like if you say, okay, it was my annotated bibliography that was due Sunday, I'm turning that in. Okay. You have to tell me in your email why you missed the first deadline and what you're doing to avoid this in the future. And then you're going to resubmit the assignments on Google Classroom. So underneath that original assignment location. The window of opportunity is going to close on October 28th. That's Wednesday at 11:59. Okay, so if there's anything that you know that you're missing, then you've got that as a backup, as a Hail Mary situation. However, if you've turned in everything and you want a chance for extra credit, which is something that I very rarely give, you can either revise something and resubmit it for a grade. You have to email me and tell me what you're resubmitting. You could write 2 more annotations of a scholarly source. Or you could write 350 words of a detailed solution to your problem, because I've decided that out of also the goodness of my heart to omit that particular assignment. So the last thing that we're going to do on our problem and solution is this week. We're going to be writing our scholarly blog post, and we're going to talk about that in just a second. I did have a student last period that said, can I do all 3 of the things for extra credit? Go for it. If you have the time and you want to do it, then do it. You know, if you don't have the time, which I said, don't stress yourself out over this, then you can pick one thing and redo that. Okay. Questions about that? All right. So we're going to take a look at the scholarly research blog post assignment, which is something I posted for you guys last week while I was gone. If you would just pull it up for me and kind of go over it with me. This is the 75 points. And the SHS grade book, it comes off as an assessment grade. So what you guys are going to be doing is you're going to be writing a minimum of 400 words that provides an overview of what you learned from your scholarly research journey. So last week when you guys were pulling up articles on the Gale Academic One file, that is what you're writing about, okay? So this is a research narrative, which means basically it's just a storytelling of how you came upon your sources and what you learned, okay? So it lets your reader, me, know what you did, how you found your sources, what you learned from the source, and then ties your sources together in a complete narrative. All right, so you'll have an introduction, and I want you to share what your research question. So whatever, when you went to, you know, I opened up Gale Academic One file, and I entered in the research question, fill in the blank, okay? So what did you do to pull up your articles? Tell me about what happened when you first pulled them up. If you don't remember, go back and recreate that magical moment where you pulled up those sources, okay? And so I've given you an example of what that could look like. So to begin my research, I opened Gale Academic One file and entered the research question, quote, how does body image impact self-esteem, unquote. I got many different responses and had to scan through some articles before selecting one that I thought looked interesting. That article was entitled, here's the title of my article, here's the journal that it came from. The article was written by these authors, and in the article they discuss how they conducted a survey of 354 teen girls about their body image and self-esteem. After you introduce your first article, you can go to your annotated bibliography and you can just pull that meat that you already wrote about the article into that, okay? So you don't have to reinvent the wheel, you don't have to reword things, you can use the work that you already did. One of the requirements of Bethel is an annotated bibliography. I had several students who did not turn in an annotated bibliography or a completed annotated bibliography, and I have to make sure that I can assess as a major project that you guys know how to do that skill, okay? So this is just kind of a way of catching everybody that fell through the cracks, all right? Also, it's a way for you to kind of synthesize, here's what I did on this one thing, here how it fits into another thing, okay? Here is just, I just copied and pasted this from my annotated bibliography, and I set this up as I wrote the following in my annotated bibliography. And I give just an overview of the source, okay? So you guys can steal from this model in any way that you want. And then note that in that one particular box there that I give you an example, I didn't include my thoughts about the research, as obviously I've already included it in the scholarly blog post. However, I do want you to see a create that tells me how it fits into your solution. So for example, the article, The Effective Body Image on Teen Girls, figures into my solution because I believe that if we're proactive about changing the way that bodies are perceived by society, we can change some of the negative self-esteem that comes from negative body image. So I want you to kind of tease out and see, how would you use this source to defend whatever your solution would be, okay? And then you're going to continue on with the next source, okay? So you're going to do some kind of transition, like next. I wanted to go ahead and pull up the next, the next topic that I wanted to explore was this. So basically just kind of walk us through how you did your research, okay? So use your annotated bibliography because you already have that done for you. And then you're going to repeat that 3 times, okay? And then at the end, you're going to write a conclusion. It should be just one paragraph that discusses how your 3 sources work together. It's also completely okay to say, you know what? These 3 sources actually don't really fit that well together. I realized in my process that I liked this source better than another source, that this source kind of sent me down on another path and I really wasn't prepared for that. So just kind of be honest about what you learned in that. And then how you would have been planning to use them from your solution post, because I can tell you guys are fatigued with this project. So that's why I'm like, we're just going to end it on this fine note of this last blog post. Okay. So at the conclusion, you're going to copy and you're going to paste your MLA citations in alphabetical order by author name under a works cited page. Okay. So you can steal those right from your annotations. If you weren't happy with how the ones in your annotations went, and this gives you a chance to kind of revise those if you needed to do so. Okay, and then I kind of gave you some elements. Just make sure that you have your introduction, you tell us source 1, you've got transitions between ideas, that you've got a conclusion, you've got a works cited page. Okay, so this is going to be due on Friday. All right, so the way that I'm structuring this week is that today we're going to have work time, Wednesday we're going to have work time, Friday, we're going to be introducing what it is that we're going to spend the rest of our Bethel semester on. We're going to be doing a fiction writing unit. So we're going to spend 3 weeks writing fiction in class and tied into the National Novel Writing Month. So I'm going to give you guys lots of ideas of different things that we can do. And we're going to kind of start that with a little bit of an activity on Friday. So Friday will not be a work day. That means to budget your time, okay, so that you're not going to count on that needing that day. All right. 4th period got a lot of work done. And if you're really focused, I promise that you can get most of this done and you don't have to worry about it. All right, now there's one other thing that we're working on this week, and this is under Q2 week 3, and this is a responding to your peers. This is another requirement of the class. We are required to respond to our peers and respond thoughtfully to their writing, okay? So this is going to replace writing to the day for this week. We're going to spend the first 20 minutes of class on today. Well, really going to have the rest of the class to work, but we'll have 20 minutes on Wednesday that I'll say is devoted to this project. And then Friday, before we start our fiction writing unit, we'll have 20 minutes. And what you're going to do is you've been assigned. So if you look, you find your name. And Nevaeh, I need you to make sure you join 6th period. And I put the code up there for you, okay? Because right now you're on 4th. So this has, your particular people that you are going to read their blogs, okay? Now I have included in an Excel sheet the blog links. I base this off of the introductory blog post where I was pulling links. I just didn't go to the second one to pull them. So there's a couple people that your link is missing. if you would go ahead and you would plug that in for me so that your guests can go and read, okay? And what you're going to do is you're going to visit their blog. You're going to read their 2 posts. You're going to give them a comment on one of their blog posts, giving them feedback on what it is that they've researched. And then you're going to write 1 paragraph that talks about, summarizes basically what you learned on that person's blog post about their project, and then what you think about it. So maybe it's on a topic that you completely disagree with. This is your opportunity to kind of say, I don't agree with that at all. I don't care what kind of information that they had. There's nothing that's going to ever get me to care about that. Or to say that, wow, I learned something new. Okay. Yeah, you're going to be graded on the following elements. 1, that you, the author, has your introductory and background post posted to your blog, and you have a link entered in the spreadsheet. If you don't have an introductory and a background post on your blog, then that means you need to do those things, right? And that you need to send it to me, because that means that you missed that as a grade, right? And I would recommend getting that done today, because no one else wants to be waiting on you to finish that particular assignment up, because it's going to make it so they can't do their work. 2, that you responded to a comment. That's 10 points for each comment, and it's 30 points total. And then you write down your detailed paragraph that gives your feedback on the blog. This must be a full detailed paragraph. You also must give your thoughts on the subject and what you feel about the issue. That's 25 points. So this is a time-consuming but fluffy assignment, okay? This is an easy way to make sure, again, everything I'm trying to do for you guys is to make it so that you fit the requirements of the class, but you also come out with the best grade that you can, right? Because we only have 3 weeks left. So I really want to make sure that I do everything I can to help you guys, help yourselves, so that you have a strong SHS and a strong Bethel GPA, okay? So follow who you're assigned to, and then I have a guideline for you. And what I recommend is that you make a copy of this. And if you don't know how to do that, all you do is you go up to File, and then you click Make a Copy, okay? And this will let you work on it through the whole week and then turn it in at the end, and it will save it to your Google Drive, okay? So each one has, hey, this is exactly what you need to fill out. This is the things that I'm looking for. It's pretty straightforward, okay? So again, this is an assignment that takes time, but it shouldn't be that difficult, right? And it also gives you a chance to really see what everybody else was working on. Give yourself a chance. This kind of acts as a writing to the day, and then also acts as a discussion board, okay? Questions about any of these assignments? Yes, ma'am.
So for number 3, the paragraph, does that go on your comment on the blog post?
No, that's for me. Okay, that's for me. So don't worry, you are not going to hurt anybody's feelings, because they're not going to see it. Okay, so you're sharing your critical thoughts with me about their blog post. Yes. Other questions? Is it not on there? Not on yours? Does everybody else see theirs? They're responding to your peers' assignment? Okay, I'll send it to you, Brooklyn. You are going to post a comment. This is just a comment for them. So you might say, Savannah, I really love what you talked about when it comes to team drinking. These are the things that I really didn't know about. I normally get blitzed every weekend, but now I'm going to change my mind about my life. Okay. Don't say that in a comment. But that kind of thing. Okay. So you're giving them some feedback on what you learned, what you found insightful, but you're not writing a whole paragraph to them. Okay. You're just kind of giving them some comments. Yes.
On the list that has everyone's name, like who they're supposed to, I see Haley's, but I don't see Haley.
Uh-oh. Did I not give you an assignment? Oh, I didn't. Okay, I'll fix that. Okay, other questions and concerns? That's a big one. You don't have to do it. Yay! Yeah, no, that was just where I saw the 2 Haleys and my brain said no. Other questions, other concerns? So this week, yes, ma'am.
With the list, so it's your name and the people that were on?
Yeah, so like you would find your, I abbreviated your name slightly. So you're doing Kaylee, Anthony, Jose Barnes, and Sean Betty's, okay? Yes.
Okay.
And then last one.
Yeah.
So in the document, like we'll put it in a document.
Yes. Yes. So I will send you this template, and that template will give you all those things that you need. Okay. So this week we are working on this, responding to our peers. That is due on Sunday, friends. Okay. So you have Sunday until midnight, and Sunday you get an extra hour of the day. How cool is that? You see it now? Okay. Huh? We're fall back, so you get an extra hour. The clocks go back an hour. At 2:00 in the morning on Halloween. And then you're working on the scholarly blog post. Remember, that needs to go into your blog. Okay, so you're not going to send me what you would have posted. You're going to actually post that to your blog. Yes. Yes. This one's due Sunday. So responding to our peers Sunday, scholarly blog post Friday. If you want to do any kind of makeup work or extra credit, Wednesday. Okay. Questions, concerns, deep thoughts about life?
And they're not, like, the people who are looking at our blogs aren't looking at our scholarly one. That doesn't have to be in.
That doesn't have to be in there. They're just looking at your introductory post and your background post. So you want to make sure that you've got those two posts for them, introductory and background. Yes. Okay. Any other questions or concerns? Yes, you need to do that.
And I can't get into my thing.
Did you set it up with an email address? It should be able to remind you. All right. So I'm going to let you guys have focus work time today and Wednesday. On Wednesday, I'll open up class with, do we have questions? Do we have concerns? Okay. And then remember that on Friday, you will not have a work day. Yes. Okay. All right. Work hard, get stuff done.